Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comments to my video. Will Trump win 2020 election? Will Trump survive next election 2020? Been few months and weeks away to November 2020 election and the rising poll of his Democratic presidential opponent Joe Biden. Will Trump survive this? Is the question of today. Will his achievements and accomplishments before COVID-19 save his presidency? Almost 4 million jobs created since election. More Americans are now employed than ever recorded before in our history. He has created more than 400,000 manufacturing jobs since his election. Manufacturing jobs growing at the fastest rate in more than 3 decades. Economic growth last quarter hit 4.2%. New unemployment claims recently hit a 49-year low. Median household income has hit highest level ever recorded. African American unemployment has recently achieved the lowest rate ever recorded. Hispanic American unemployment is at the lowest rate ever recorded. Asian American unemployment recently achieved the lowest rate ever recorded. Women's unemployment recently reached the lowest rate in 65 years. Youth unemployment has recently hit the lowest rate in nearly half a century. Lowest unemployment rate ever recorded for Americans without a high school diploma. Under his administration, veterans unemployment recently reached its lowest rate in nearly 20 years. Almost 3.9 million Americans have been lifted off food stamps since the election. The pledge to America's workers has resulted in he is committed to vocational education. 95% of U.S. manufacturers are optimistic about the future, the highest ever. Retail sales surged every month, up another. Signed the biggest package of tax cuts and reforms in history. After tax cuts, over $300 billion poured back into the U.S. in the first quarter alone. Employers committing to train more than 4 million Americans. As a result of his tax bill, small businesses have the lowest top marginal tax rate in more than 80 years. Helped win U.S. bid for the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. Helped win U.S.-Mexico-Canada's United bid for 2026 World Cup. Opened ANWR and approved Keystone XL and ACO2 access pipelines. Record number of regulations eliminated. Enacted regulatory relief for community banks and credit unions. Obamacare individual mandate penalty gone. His administration is providing more affordable healthcare options for Americans through association health plans and short-term duration plans. FDA approved more affordable generic drugs than ever before in history. And thanks to efforts, many drug companies are freezing or reversing planned price increases. He reformed the Medicare program to stop hospitals from overcharging low-income seniors on their drugs, saving seniors hundreds of millions of dollars this year alone. Signed right to try legislation. Secured $6 billion in new funding to fight the opioid epidemic. He has reduced high-dose opioid prescriptions by 16% during his first year in office. Signed VA Choice Act and VA Accountability Act expanded VA telehealth services, walk-in clinics, and same-day urgent primary and mental health care. Increased our coal exports by 60%. U.S. oil production recently reached all-time high. United States is a net natural gas exporter for the first time since 1957. Withdrew the United States from the job-killing Paris Climate Accord. Cancelled the illegal anti-coal, so-called Clean Power Plan. Secured record $700 billion in military funding, $716 billion next year. He has made NATO allies to be spending $69 billion more on defense since 2016. Process has begun to make the Space Force, the sixth branch of the armed forces, confirmed more circuit court judges than any other new administration. Confirmed Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch and nominated Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Withdrew from the horrible, one-sided Iran deal. Moved U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv, which has lingered for decades. Concluded a historic U.S.-Mexico trade deal. United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, that replaced NAFTA. Reached a breakthrough agreement with the EU to increase U.S. exports. Imposed tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum to protect our national security. Imposed tariffs on China in response to China's forced technology transfer, intellectual property theft, and their chronically abusive trade practices. Net exports are on track to increase by $59 billion this year. We have begun building the wall. Republicans want strong borders and no crime. Democrats want open borders, which equals massive crime. National security & defense. Rebuilding U.S. deterrence to preserve peace through strength, nation's top priority. The unprecedented era of peace that followed World War II revealed that the free world is safest when America is strongest. The slow depletion of our military in recent years has resulted in an escalation of threats the world over, which President Trump is committed to reversing. Economy & jobs. The economy has come roaring back to life under President Trump. The stock market has hit record high after record high, helping more Americans build wealth and secure their futures through needed tax cuts and reform. The administration will bring jobs back to our country. The president is helping U.S. workers by expanding apprenticeship programs, reforming job training programs, and bringing businesses and educators together to ensure high quality classroom instruction and on-the-job training. Immigration. The United States must adopt an immigration system that serves the national interest to restore the rule of law and secure our border. President Trump is committed to constructing a border wall and ensuring the swift removal of unlawful entrants to protect American workers. The president supports ending chain migration, eliminating the visa lottery, and moving the country to a merit-based entry system. These reforms will advance the safety and prosperity of all Americans while helping new citizens assimilate and flourish. The acts of Trump the Democrats want to rip apart. Will they succeed him? November 2020. Will these accomplishments save him and give him second term in office? Please don't forget to subscribe.